We're also working new details tonight on a sweeping police bust that was first breaking in Eyewitness News at noon.
Yeah, nearly 24 people arrested in connection with a firearms and drug ring that police say was directly linked to multiple shootings in Providence this year.
And here they are, 21 suspects in all. Eyewitness News reporter Anita Buffoni joins us now with this new information.
It was a 3-month-long wiretap investigation that led to the arrest of what police are calling a group of very violent criminals. 2 recent shootings in Providence are linked to the arrest of 21 people in a sting dubbed Operation Heat. The first was outside Club 7 on Spruce Street, where 2 people were shot in May. The second shooting was outside a bar on Public Street, where 1 person was injured.
We, interrupted a very violent group and prevented further violence from happening.
Police allege the group was also involved in dealing drugs and transporting firearms. They identify the ringleader as 32-year-old Jancy Toussette of North Providence, who has a lengthy criminal record. This video is from 2018 of Toussette in court on an unrelated case. Police say Toussette orchestrated and conspired to execute shootings of rivals and directed the distribution of illegal drugs.
It's a group of individuals who worked off of intimidation to, fuel their distribution of narcotics and also firearms.
45 search warrants and nearly 19,000 calls and text messages were intercepted by police, which helped in the arrest of the alleged criminals, ranging in age from 18 to 49 years old. Drugs including fentanyl and heroin, handguns, and nearly $50,000 in cash were seized. Federal and local police were part of the investigation, in addition to the state police drug trafficking unit.
This is a group of very violent individuals that if this went unchecked, would have gone into other communities.
Coming up new at 6, hear why police sought a court-ordered Title III wiretap investigation that was used in this case. I'm Anita Buffoni, Eyewitness News.
Also developing tonight, state police say more arrests are likely following a major operation that's led to charges against numerous suspects.
Eyewitness News reporter Anita Buffoni joins us live in studio now with the new details on this investigation. Anita?
Steve and Kate, state police used what's called a Title III wiretap investigation in a sting dubbed Operation Heat. A group of nearly 24 people were arrested as a result for their role in the alleged possession and transportation of firearms connected to 2 recent shootings in the capital city. A total of 21 people were arrested in Operation Heat. Their ages range from 18 to 49 years old.
This is a group of very violent individuals.
Police identified the ringleader as 32-year-old Jancy Toussette of North Providence, who has a lengthy criminal record. This video is from 2018 of Toussette in court on an unrelated case. They say Toussette orchestrated and conspired to execute shootings of rivals and directed the distribution of illegal drugs. Police were granted a court-ordered Title III wiretap investigation, which resulted in 45 search warrants and nearly 19,000 intercepted calls and text messages.
This group, particularly Mr. Toussette, who is the leader, insulated himself very well, and that was, a difficult thing to prove unless we have additional information.
To get a Title III, police need to prove to a Superior Court judge that they have used all other avenues and investigative tools. Police say they intercepted conversations where the suspects discussed home invasions, the sale of guns, and robberies. Now, one of the shootings connected to Toussette was outside Club 7 in May, where 2 people were injured. The club was temporarily shut down because of the shooting, but the Board of Licenses dismissed the violation, finding that the shooting was not connected to the club. I'm Anita Buffoni, Eyewitness News.